The village of Darvash had always carried a strange silence, the kind that felt heavier than sound itself. At its edge stood an old, forgotten well surrounded by a ruined orchard, where even the wind seemed hesitant to pass. The elders never spoke of it, and children were warned to stay away, as if the place itself held a memory too dangerous to awaken. Yet beneath that silence lay a truth the village had tried for generations to bury. One evening, a young cartographer named Arman arrived in Darvash, drawn by maps that hinted at something impossible hidden beneath the land. Unlike the villagers, he had no inherited fear, only curiosity. When strange tremors began shaking the ground and a low hum rose from the direction of the orchard, he decided to investigate despite the warnings. That night, under a dim lantern, he stood before the well and felt an unsettling pull rising from its depths, as though something beneath the earth had sensed him back. When Arman looked down into the well, he expected darkness, but instead saw a faint, unnatural glow reflecting from far below. The air grew dense, and an eerie resonance filled his mind, as if the earth itself was whispering forgotten truths. Symbols carved into the inner stone walls seemed to shift as he focused on them, forming patterns that defied logic. At the center of this ancient structure lay the relic, neither metal nor stone in any ordinary sense, but something far older, fractured and pulsing with a quiet, unsettling energy. The moment he saw it clearly, his mind was flooded with visions that did not belong to him. Collapsing civilizations, skies torn apart by unknown forces, and voices speaking in a language his soul somehow understood. It was not treasure he had discovered, but containment. Before long, the villagers arrived, led by old Malik, whose trembling voice carried both fear and urgency. He begged Arman to step away, to let the past remain buried, but it was already too late. The relic had been acknowledged, and that acknowledgement alone began to weaken whatever seal had kept it contained for centuries. The ground shook violently, and the glow from the well intensified as if responding to their collective awareness. Malik finally revealed the truth. That their ancestors had not buried a treasure, but something far worse, something that fed on being remembered. The relic was never meant to be destroyed, it was meant to be forgotten. But memory itself had become its key. As panic spread among the villagers, Malik made a desperate choice and descended into the well, sacrificing himself to reinforce what little remained of the seal. His disappearance was followed by a brief, haunting silence, and the relic's glow dimmed slightly, though not enough to signal true safety. Arman realized then that the danger was not in the object itself, but in the act of knowing it existed. The more minds that held its image, the weaker its prison became. In a final attempt to undo the damage, he began destroying his records, erasing every map, every note, every trace of its location, hoping that ignorance might once again become its cage. As dawn approached and the village slowly returned to uneasy normalcy, Arman remained by the sealed well, repeating to himself that there had never been anything beneath it at all, because in Darvash, survival depended not on what was true, but on what could be safely forgotten.